Inilah siaran pedesaan Kabupaten Klaten.
Broadcasts for farmers from the local station at Klaten in central Java.
Dipun sandhekaken panggenan jalur Pakistan.
19 program hours a week with suggestions and good advice designed to improve living conditions for a rural population of 1 million people.
Poros dari among tani ing padusunan ingkang sae tigan kedah radi miring kawan dosukan saja.
This German-Indonesian mini-team proves that it's not always the extent of the financial subsidy which decides the success of the project. And they are successful, thanks to their know-how and their sense of commitment. More than 1,000 listeners' clubs have been founded in the region. Their motto is always listen, discuss, and take action. Neighborliness as everyone understands it. Rice cultivation, irrigation, the use of fertilizers and machinery. These are some of the wide range of subjects dealt with, which are also aligned with the seasons and with the German capital goods program for Indonesia. Today, a broadcast about poultry farming is on the air, and both the agricultural program editors are keen to know from the ensuing discussion whether their efforts have hit the mark or not. The lively discussion hinges on breeding stock and pesticides and helps to sustain the Indonesian BIMAS program, an unusual self-aid project aimed at encouraging the population to achieve a degree of self-sufficiency in foodstuffs production. Action must follow discussion, and the agricultural broadcasts from Klaten contribute to this as well. They help 1 million people in country districts to close the subsistence gap. And they also encourage the young farmer in particular to settle on the land and thereby avoid a precarious existence in the already overpopulated cities. Jakarta is the lively metropolis of the 1,000-island Republic of Indonesia with its 120 million people. Bappenas, the National Planning Commission, has developed realistic programs for all walks of life. But how are they to be financed? Minister Dr. Emil Salim explains, the largest proportion of the development program will be financed by the people themselves, and this will be augmented by contributions from abroad. In this connection, the German government is providing development aid, especially to finance various projects of our economic infrastructure, such as telegraphic communications, electricity, maritime commerce, as well as municipal bus transport and railways. So this aid means a considerable increase in the prosperity of our peoples.
Dengan demikian dapat memberi sumbangan kepada peningkatan kesejahteraan masyarakat kita.
Indonesia has given several nations and the World Bank a share in the reconstruction and consolidation of its transport and communications systems. The Federal Republic has undertaken to contribute towards the modernization of the railways. Instances of this good cooperation are to be seen anywhere in Jakarta, Bandung, Surabaya, in the shape of signal and telegraphic installations, points and crossings, steam and diesel locomotives. They are promising beginnings, because there's a lot to do before the railways can meet the challenge of modern Indonesian life all along the line.
The German government is prepared to finance this train dispatching system in several steps.
The next important link is between Jakarta and...
Indonesian and German railways specialists are at the moment working on the task of improving communications on Sumatra and Java and connecting these two main islands by means of a ferry.
We propose to start with the execution of this project from Jakarta to Surabaya.
As I've understood that the utilization of this ferry service is based on a more inefficient system. The roll-on roll-off system bring any improvement on this utilization or not?
Of course, it is right, but only in part. I think this is the new combined roll-on and roll-off ferry service could be the first step.
Meanwhile, the experts have worked out a three-stage plan to clear the way for a forward-looking railway system. The plan exhibits the following main points. Management must be improved and running conditions rationalized without fare increases. The railroad system must be stabilized and average speeds stepped up. Diesel locomotives must be employed on a larger scale and better passenger services provided. It's a promising list of improvements which will do much more than the present system to encourage railway tourism in Indonesia. Indonesia's economy is stabilized. The investment boom from overseas enterprise is a reliable barometer of the changes, and exports have increased by almost 20% annually, a triumphal balance. At the port of Jakarta, you can get a good impression of Indonesia's worldwide trade connections, and visitors from Germany are immediately reminded of the Indonesian products on sale in the departmental stores of cities like Munich, Frankfurt and Hamburg. Who profits from the export boom in Indonesia? Does it only serve to fill the state exchequer with foreign currency, or the coffers of the major industrial enterprises? Mrs. Zulaiman, for example, is one of the minor beneficiaries. She and her family run a small handicrafts business on the outskirts of Jakarta. She produces batik. As it is difficult to market at home because of the stiff competition, she plans to export it, to Germany, for instance. But it would be too costly to run her own export department, so she gets advice from a German export promoter. Mrs. Zulaiman and her business are only one of thousands of such cases. Herr Lange advises small handicrafts businesses anywhere between Jakarta and Bali about their marketing chances in Germany. He acts as an intermediary in obtaining contracts for hand-carved ornaments from German furniture manufacturers, for example. And he advises the craftsmen where they can best sell their handicrafts. Indonesian arts and crafts have become very popular in Germany. The traditional shapes and designs in wood, silver and stonework are highly prized for their artistic qualities. It's often quite a difficult task convincing the craftsmen in out-of-the-way places of their own worth and the rise in living standards that this could entail. They think export is only for the big firms, and delivery times are things that cannot possibly be adhered to. Export promotion, according to the German advisor, is a job requiring endless patience. But it's a job which really brings immediate benefits to small businesses. Mrs. Zulaiman and he are selecting the batik collection for a major international trade fair in Germany.
This year we are going to participate in the Frankfurt Fair.
Will their choice be the right one? There's always an element of risk attached to business, and the Frankfurt Trade Fair is an international meeting place. $70,000 buyers for chain stores and wholesalers, mainly from European countries. Glass, ceramics, musical instruments, handicrafts and consumer goods. The Indonesian stand is well patronized right from the start. The Indonesian Ministry of Trades and the federal German government's investment in presenting the products of the land of 1,000 isles to their best advantage has paid off. Often the production capacity of the manufacturers threatens to be overtaxed by the demand. Prices and times have to be sharply calculated in order to make a profit in the cutthroat competition of the international market.
Keine Fortschritt. Das ist gerade modern hier. Ja, wenn Sie interessieren, natürlich, wir werden auch verkaufen.
Kannst du das 10-15 Mal das Stück verkaufen in Detail?
Nein, geht nicht. Der Preis bleibt so. Wir haben so kalkulieren, so Preis, damit also wir weiter leben kann.
Ja, leben sowieso, keine Angst.
But I told you one thing, if by many things, yeah.
It's a far cry from the hand printing of a batik pattern to the signing of a contract in Germany.
To one person.
That's right. So we want this alone. Okay?
So just like the other one, if you see
That's
the
right.
order, yes, not a time.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Kami dari Batik Industrial Trading Company Indonesia.
We of the Chris Industrial Trading Company, says the manager of the Indonesian stand, are very satisfied with the run of business at the Frankfurt Trade Fair. Thanks to the cooperation with the German finishing industries, we've been able to book more orders than expected.
Dengan para industriawan Jerman Barat sebagai supplier komponen part.